It's Christmas Eve. Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update. So glad you could join us. A planned meeting this morning between government officials and an intermediary acting on behalf of the Unity Workers Union to address the concerns of striking nurses never materialized. As a result, General Secretary of the UWU, Senator Caswell Franklin, has intensified strike action with immediate effect, which will continue into Christmas Day. Efforts by Barbados Today to reach Minister Bostic were unsuccessful. Retailers in Bridgetown are reporting great sales for the Christmas period as last-minute shopping on Christmas Eve added to the recent VAT-free day saw a surge in spending activity. Managing Director of Abed's, Eddie Abed, praised the government's foresight in implementing Monday's VAT-free shopping, saying that the move energized greater levels of spending.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the government gave us the opportunity to have that VAT-free day. The sales on that day in particular were a record for us, and I don't need to say anymore. People understand what removal of VAT means. They understand how much more the dollar can stretch when that happens, and we were well prepared for it. I've got to thank my staff again. They came out, they did what they had to do, and this is every line of the chain. So from that point of view, I have very little to complain about. I'm praying, I'm hopeful that 22 is a much better year for us all. I'm hopeful that we will start to see some normalcy returning, some sense of what makes this place so special, what makes people in this country so special, coming back in to be part of what we see on a day-to-day basis.
The managing director of Woolworth, Martin Bryan, said although sales during the Christmas season were good, shipping delays remain an area of concern going into the new year.
We had some seriously logistical problems in terms of supply. I mean, like for instance, our Christmas trees, we haven't even gotten them yet. So we will be early next year with them, but that is a cash flow problem again because that's money tied up in trees. Some of our decorations are coming late, curtains are coming late. So we have some serious issues in terms of supply. And on top of that, the ones we did get, freight affected us because freight from the Far East was almost quadruple what it was the same time last year. So yeah, that certainly would affect what we have on our shelves and what we could offer customers and the price we could offer them at. Where we could, we try to absorb as much as we can. Some we had to pass on, but in some cases we didn't get stock. Like for instance, our Christmas trees and curtains are yet to come. So that was the main issue.
Now to today's COVID-19 update. The death toll from the viral illness moved up by one today. A 60-year-old unvaccinated man passed away at the Harrison Point isolation facility on Thursday, bringing total deaths to 260. Meanwhile, a total of 96 people, 45 females and 51 males, were identified as COVID-19 positive from among 1,059 tests conducted by the Best de Santos Public Health Laboratory. Of these, 14 persons were under the age of 18, while 82 were 18 years and older. There were 121 people in isolation facilities, while 850 were in home isolation. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of persons who are fully vaccinated is 142,815. That's 52.7% of the total population, or 62.5% of the eligible population.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, my name is Christian Paul. I'm the country manager of BCIC here in Barbados. When the COVID vaccine first came out, I thought it was an interesting and a potentially successful way for us to navigate our way out of the pandemic and a return to some state of normalcy. I took the vaccine because I have a young family. I want to make sure that they are safe and protected. I have friends, extended family, and obviously I work here with colleagues, so I thought it was a good way to help protect them and to keep them safe, as well as myself. I would encourage others to take the vaccine because I know that you can still transmit the disease even if you're vaccinated, but the chances of being severely ill or worse, dying, are significantly reduced.
Let's roll up our sleeves and get back to living.
To regional news, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been outlining his plans for the new year. High on the agenda, crime and violence, a possible cabinet reshuffle, and Jamaica's relationship with the British monarchy.
The
Prime Minister signaled that he will make changes to his cabinet in the new year. Mr. Holness addressed the matter while speaking with Emily Shields during Hotline on Radio Jamaica on Thursday.
I think it would not be unreasonable to see one done in the new year.
Will it come?
Yes, it will.
Prime Minister Holness also addressed the spiraling crime problem in the country. He described crime and violence as a virus that has infected Jamaicans and said it is also one of the big issues that his administration will be focusing on next year.
Violence has become now such a critical issue that is almost defining who we are as a people. And that wasn't always the case. As we go into celebrating who we are as Jamaicans in our 60th year of independence, we need to address that. How are we going to treat with this growing disease of virus that has infected Jamaicans and how we relate to each other?
Mr. Holness said one of his other plans for the new year would revolve around the country's 60th year of independence.
The government is going to be focused on ensuring that all Jamaicans can have a great sense of pride in their country, to reflect on what we have achieved, to be critical of what we have not achieved, but to use that critical energy as resolve to ensure that for the next 6 years we actually achieve the vision of the founding fathers.
On the international front, the rise of the Omicron variant has dampened Christmas celebration for millions. In Bethlehem, the Israeli-occupied Palestinian city, Christians believe was Jesus' birthplace. Hoteliers expecting an influx of tourists have been disappointed.
I made a lot of efforts in Bethlehem. You know, I've spoken to someone who established a boutique hotel, and now it's all empty. Somebody else who bought up big, all the kind of souvenirs that foreign tourists and pilgrims will buy, and commissioned all these carvings in the local olive wood. Who's going to buy that now? The only people who are going to be in the square tonight are going to be locals, and they're not staying and they're not buying. I mean, last year it was worse, I guess, because there was a lockdown. But this year it's heartbreaking because the anticipation was greater. And now, you know, in many ways, religiously, but especially in tourist terms, this is Bethlehem's big night. And the Omicron variant has turned out to be the Grinch that stole Christmas.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.